News Channel 3 sat down with Valley Republican Congressman Ken Calvert yesterday to ask him the tough questions. Today, I was able to speak with Democratic Valley Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz. He sat down with me just a few moments ago. Take a listen. Your response, and then what comes next?
Well, I'm sick to my stomach, Peter, because this is the biggest cuts to Medicaid in our nation's history, the biggest cuts to food assistance in our nation's history, the biggest cuts to in taxes for billionaires in our nation's history, the biggest transfer of wealth from working families to billionaires in our nation's history, and it is the bill that increases our national debt more than any other bill in our nation's history, up to $5 trillion. There's going to be a lot of pain and suffering. Costs are going to go up in energy. Costs are going to go up in premiums due to the 17 million new uninsured individuals that are going to be uncompensated care in our hospitals. 20% of rural hospitals are going to close, including potentially 4 right here, Peter, in our district. This is horrible. There's still tax on tips. There's still tax on overtime. There's still tax on Social Security. There are deductibles for tips, $25,000, $15,000 for overtime, and only $6,000 for Social Security. And they expire in 3 years when these other tax breaks for billionaires are permanent.
I also want to ask you about immigration. The Trump administration just announced that it wants to replace immigrant farm workers with automation and also U.S. citizens who are on Medicaid. So you're laughing, but the agricultural secretary says there will be no amnesty for farm workers.
Yeah, that, you know, he goes back and forth. One day the growers tell him how terrible this is for their economy, how there's crops that are being rotten out in the fields, and so then he says, well, maybe we'll make an exception for the growers and for farm workers, and now he says something else. This is what I've warned everybody about, these indiscriminate mass deportations with non-criminal immigrant families. Separating them is just going to hurt our local economy. It's going to increase costs in our grocery stores for these produce. Because of that, a lot of food is going to go to waste. Look, I think that automation will affect the labor pool for farm work. I don't think it's there yet to do the job that's needed to mass produce the food that we need. And there's no way that there's going to be Medicaid recipients who are going to work 20 hours a week. They're going to go out in 115-degree weather doing hard labor to just in order to get their Medicaid. It doesn't work.